Welcome to Jenkins and Jonez on the Volume Podcast Network. It's Monday, June 7th, and the NBA playoffs are marching on. We had a Game 7 between the Clippers and Mavs. We're going to talk about the Lakers going out. We're going to look at all of the semifinal conference playoff series. As always, Jenkins and Jonez is hosted by my good friends, LeJethro Jenkins, a.k.a. John.
What's up, Bubbas?
Dragonfly Jones, a.k.a. Tyler.
Yeah, how's it going, guys?
I'm Cardi B, a.k.a. Mike. I don't know why that shit always cracks me up, bro.
It's always money every fucking time. Every fucking time.
Let's talk about the Clippers, man. Let's talk about the Clippers. Beat the Mavs in Game 7. I think a lot of drafts went untweeted as a result. What do you guys think about the game and the Clippers, coming back from down 2-0?
They got us. I don't know what else to say. What the fuck was that? They really fucking pulled the okey doke on us, bro. We were ready to let them jokes fly. And it felt like in the last few, 5 minutes, Dallas mounted that fake comeback. I was like, hold up. Please do not let the Clippers go out like this. But then, nope, the Clippers put it through. I just feel like, I tweeted out that I just hate that the Mavs made Paul George's all-time dumb comment. Well, now we got to see what they do on their home court. Like, bro, when do teams struggle to win on their home floor? He made that dumbass statement a prophecy. And I feel like that's like the weirdest thing to come out of all this shit.
Now Bleacher Report's going to put up, this is a day that Paul George said, you know what I mean? Like,
Paul George
called
an
annual quote instead of you know what I mean? But yeah, man, it's weird that it took them 6 games to realize you put your best defenders on the other team's best player. It took them to Game 6 to finally put Kawhi. I understand you don't want to, you need him to score. You don't want to, have him running around all these screens. But bro, who the fuck is going to do anything else with fucking Luka? You know what I mean? But one thing that was telling when they showed Luka's fourth quarter scoring. It was down, four? I mean, basically half, you know what I'm saying, in the fourth quarter. I'll say this, though. I thought after they lost that second game at home, they weren't going to win another game. They proved me wrong. But, hey, man, once Kawhi was on Luka, you knew what time it was.
What do you think about that Luka fourth quarter? I mean, obviously, incredible series from Luka, overall. But he does have my body type a little bit, and I don't do so well in the fourth quarter of physical activities. I mean, do you think it's honestly, you think it's a fitness thing? You think it's a youth thing? People figuring out, what do you think that was? Because you're right, the stats it was a dramatic drop off for the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
He shouldn't be burdened with carrying such a big load. He needs another fucking guy there. You know what I mean? Like Tim Hardaway Jr. is great, but he's a third guy. You know what I mean? He was stepping into the role of being the second guy because fucking Kristaps Porzingis was just being fucking 7'3" and just 7'3" out there. That's it. You know what I mean? So
he's not just 7'3", he's 7'3" for $39 million.
Yeah, playing like Rick Smith. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Fuck out of here.
Yeah. Like I saw someone tweet, that was really the Tim Hardaway trade and the Porzingis salary dump. And you know what I'm saying? And that's what it's looked like it's become. You know what I mean? So they definitely need to get a second guy. I'm not putting this on, Luka, like, oh no, he doesn't have the killer instinct or any of that dumb shit in the fourth quarter. He was just burdened with such a heavy load, and he was just running out of gas, as any fucking human would.
I mean, he was telling he was cussing out Pat Bev and minute and a half into the game. You know what I mean? Just saying he's too fucking small. I mean, you can't do that for 4 quarters straight. You know what I mean? Be that level of height when you looking dudes right in their eyes and telling them they ain't shit. You know what I mean? That's so I understand 3.5 quarters is bro, I'm spent, but it's probably youth. I mean, it has to be. It's probably a little bit of youth. You know what I'm saying? And
learning to conserve himself. Right.
I mean, you like Bron. Bron is one of the best at conserving. That's a learned skill to not look like you're taking plays off, but be taking, moments off in the game. You feel me? But yeah, man, they need Kristaps to earn some of his money at least for him, to have that level of energy, like Tyler was saying. But yeah, man.
Let's wrap up the other first round series we didn't get a chance to talk about yet, and then we'll talk about the semifinal matchups. Lakers Suns. I think a lot of tweets that were in the drafts came out of the drafts at the end of that game. I'm seeing quite a lot of Space Jam 2 commentary today. What did you guys think? I mean, as longtime Braun lovers and defenders on the internet, what did you think of that series and what people were trying to make out of that series, Tyler?
I think that, everyone was you saw the Braun haters come out in full force for that one, right? And it's like, why even entertain? Because like I've said before, like the opinion you had on Braun on that night in June in 2016 after he pulled that off against the Warriors, you're not getting swayed either way. You know what I'm saying? Where you were that night is where you're going to be stuck. If Braun won you over in 2016 after being the Warriors, you're a Braun guy. If he didn't, there's nothing Braun could ever do to convince you to be a Braun guy. All right. So I don't even think that it's a point to argue people who are, piling on, a fucking 18-year vet, 36 guy, high ankle sprain, not playing at full strength guy and saying, oh, well, this shows, that everything that he's done so far, is fraudulent and all that shit. So, once of course Anthony Davis went down, we all knew that, the Lakers were probably out of there. You know what I mean? And I believe that even with a Braun at 100% and an AD at 100%, I still thought that they could possibly win the West, which wouldn't have mattered much because I think whoever comes out the East is smacking the fuck out of the Western Conference champs, and that would include the Lakers too. So, I mean, it is what it is. I'm not disappointed. I mean, I'm just hoping that Braun can rest up, and we'll see. And hopefully, he still is Braun next season, and we'll see. We're at the age now where it's not a given that Braun will be Braun.
It will be nice to see him have his first off season in 2 years.
Yeah,
I'm hopeful, but you're right. You can't. I mean, at this point, you open that box up on Christmas every year. You don't know what's going to be in there. John, what did you think? Did you entertain? Did you bother? I don't think I saw it. No, you're just like, yeah, fuck you if you thought him losing in the first round for the first time ever meant that much. That's your opinion?
I mean, yeah, somebody tweeted it before the game, and I'm like, what does this do for Braun's legacy? And I'm like, if you think a 36-year-old with one ankle, without AD, losing, in the first round for the first time ever, at this point, I mean, come on, bro. I'm like, you nothing like Tyler was saying. I tell you what, tweeted nothing that Braun's ever done will make you sway him. Will sway your opinion. You know what I mean? But I just like, dude, when we were on here last time, not last time before last, I think it was last Sunday. I said it's over with. I was comfortable at that moment. I knew Braun was hurt. I knew Braun was going to do Braun shit because Braun wasn't Braun. We've seen him the first 3 games. Mike even said he's picking his spots, like masterfully. But it's cool to pick spots when you have AD out there, right? You know what I mean? But we saw dude, anytime there was any amount of traffic in the paint, Braun was backing it out. You know what I'm saying? Swinging the ball a lot more than instead of attacking. He was just very careful. I'm like, that Braun doesn't have the button, and you need the button to play against a motherfucker like Booker, who's gonna drop 47 on your ass and still be pulling like he only up 3. You know what I'm saying? That's how aggressive he was still playing when they was up, hellas. Like, yeah.
I have a friend who's my friend JJ who works with me, diehard Lakers fan his whole life. He's same as us, same as me, lifelong Lakers fan, and has always loved Braun. Like, was with me at our college graduation party in 2006 when we saw him in the playoffs, and we're like, this dude is
our guy.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
So he was at the game. His friend got him tickets for the birthday, so he was in like the 10th row or something for the closeout game. And he said, I asked him, I was like, you bummed out, or how you feeling or whatever. And he said, and it's interesting. Basketball is interesting because you always see the game different in person. You think about it different when you're there in person. I think more than almost any other sport. He said, no, I'm excited. He said, I was excited. I was bummed the Lakers were going to lose, but he was the same as us. AD went down, and he was like, shit, wrap it up. He said, I was just really excited because I think 15 years from now, I'll be telling people I was at the game when Devin Booker dropped 47 on the road in a closeout game to hand Bron his first ever first round playoff defeat. He's like, because that dude is a fucking. And he said, you could feel it, the energy in the building. It was everyone was scared every time that dude touched the ball, bro.
Book a bad motherfucker, man.
And
I think in our season preview episode, we had a little argument where I said he's the second best two guard in the league to me behind Harden. And who knows if Harden is technically a two guard now, given his role in Brooklyn. But I stand firm on that, man. Book is a bad motherfucker, bro.
I think it's unfortunate that people don't talk about him at all when we talk about the Suns.
Not really.
I
mean, even like even people. I mean, even like women that we really respect on Twitter talk about basketball, saying, "Isn't this proof that Chris Paul's the MVP?" Is like Devin Booker.
I think it's really unfortunate. The whole time being like Devin Booker's the best player on that team. You know what I mean? And we're talking about CP3 for All-Star, and Booker was like, like it's a second thought. It's just like if you watch Booker play. I mean, even in his bad games, like when he's not all the way him, it's still like you can see still see how special he is. That kid, I mean, that dude is. I see why your boy looked at it that way. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it makes me think maybe he saw something in Bron live, like if he's seen Bron live before, that this is a different Bron, and it's like, this might be Bron going the other way for the first time. You know what I'm saying?
You just don't know with the ankle, and the whole look. Let's. I know everyone's been beating this shit to death, but I really think it's the story of the playoffs. Every team that made it to the conference finals in the bubble has been eliminated in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
You just cannot fucking tell me that every players who alums who do like Bron, alums who don't like Bron, like I don't think it's narrativizing it. Everyone who's played in the league has said 70 days off season is fucking bullshit.
Right.
It takes you a full month and a half to even just wake up feeling regular after an NBA season. And these dudes did this shit during the pandemic. You know what I mean? Like it was just different. And so I just don't know what to assign to a body that has been worn down a lot over the last 2 years that had an illegitimate, we all saw the ankle injury. It wasn't, you know what I mean?
It was the first time, I said it in a moment, I was like, it's the first time we've seen Bron respond to an ankle like that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And he tried to do the tie-up thing. And it was just, and I was, when he got on the court, I'm like, why is he playing? And then I saw before, like, they were showing the replay that he landed on 1 foot. I'm like, get him out of there. Get him the fuck out of there. And Bron called it TO. Like, yeah, bro, like, it's what do we expect? At first, we said he was 36 because it's amazing he's 36 doing this, right? But we can't ignore he's 36 now. You know what I mean?
Right.
when you're talking about things that 36 shows have problems with, and he seemed like he was laboring, like you said. So I like I said, after we had that conversation, I was like, yo, Bron might not be here that long. And so I just appreciate watching him play now. And
I gotta get to some games. You know what I mean?
Right. I felt that after game 2, after game 1. You know what I mean? I'm just happy to see this dude. You know what I mean? So I'm not sure.
What do you guys think the next? I mean, we know Bron is just like, Kobe and the other greats who got, even as he starts to trail off, I don't think he's going to fall off a cliff. I think he's going to figure out ways to modify his game, ways to change what he does. He's so conscious about that. Tyler, what do you think he's going to come out doing next year? You think he's dropping weight and leaning more on the jump shot? Like, what do you think the sort of next act is going to be for him recovering from this injury?
I know he's got this extended off season to take care of that, high ankle injury. And we all know Bron probably has taken care of his body better than any NBA player ever in the history of the game. So we know that he's going to get top-notch treatment for that. But it's he's going to be 37, by the time, next postseason comes around. And
that's how old I am, and I got my ass whipped by 2 enchiladas tonight, bro. So you know what I mean,
right? And NBA players are a totally different level than fucking enchiladas, dog. You feel me?
Yeah, I've always been the let's not write Bron's obituary yet guy, and I'm still that guy until we see that Bron isn't Bron anymore. So like I said, I'm just keeping an open mind here. We'll see how he comes back next season.
I'm with you. Fingers crossed for sure. Okay, let's talk about the semifinals. Let's talk about the conference semifinal series. We got Hawks 76ers. Boy, did that shit not go the way I thought it was going to go.
Bruh, fucking Trey, what the fuck? Trey a bad motherfucker, man. I'll just say, if Doc Rivers blows this shit, if Doc Rivers gets a 1 seed just to get taken out by the fucking Atlanta Hawks. But
maybe he's the exorcism that the city of Atlanta's sports teams needs. You know, maybe this is the unstoppable force meeting the immovable object of postseason curses, bro.
right. Like, because Doc Rivers he's a cursed motherfucker too. So, you know, that might be just who they have to go through. But, you know, I just don't understand, you know, and this is on Doc too. Why did you let Trey bust Danny Green's ass like that for that whole first half? Like, they said something like he had
19 for 25.
Right, 19 for 25. Like, god damn, dude. Like, and you know, I understand the whole shit, you know, where you don't want to put your best guy on, you know, the other guy's best guy because you don't want to burn the can up both ends. You want to have your guys be fresh on the offensive end, and I get why you wouldn't want to put Ben Simmons on there. But then he put Matisse on him second half, and you know the tide started swinging. Why wasn't Matisse on him from jump if you weren't going to put Simmons on him? You know what I mean? So it's just a situation where, you know, Doc is just giving us some head scratches again.
When he put Ben on him in the beginning of the second half, and Ben drew 2 quick fouls. Then he put Matisse on. I think Matisse did a better job than Ben. You know what I mean? Like, this is not a hot take. I truly believe this. He took Danny Green off and it was a totally different game. Once he had either Simmons or Matisse on him, he still got some buckets, but it was a lot harder to get that work off, and he wasn't scoring it at will like that. So I wouldn't be surprised if they don't win another game. You know what I'm saying? Like the way the Hawks, the way that the Sixers figured them out in the second half, they came back from and then also when you're watching the game at the end of the game, you really realize how young the Hawks are. You know what I'm saying?
They shit all the way down their legs.
Bro.
They like the Sixers started pressing, and it was like I was texting everyone like, this feels like 100 high school basketball games I've covered. The press is not supposed to fuck up the momentum of an NBA team like that, bro.
But Ben Simmons ain't at the press of no high school game. Ben Simmons ain't at the front of that press. Ben Simmons is hard to pass over, so you can't really hit a guy.
If they press the Clippers are not going to turn the ball over 4 times in 5 possessions. I don't care who's in front of you. You're not supposed to shit down your leg like that in an NBA game, bro.
I know we saw the Clippers shit down their leg a couple times.
Not at the press though.
NBA
the pressure, not the press.
But pressure, nigga, is close enough. You feel me? Anyway, yeah, like we saw how young they were, but like that press. When you have like, you know what I'm saying, Green and Simmons trapping you, or Thibault and Simmons trapping you on the other side, like, nigga, I don't want any part anywhere of a Thibault Simmons fucking trap. I saw that at the top, at the like right when Trey crossed the fucking half court, and I literally shivered. I was like, "Ooh, like, that shit spooked the fuck out of me, nigga."
It would be real Doc Rivers-ish.
Extremely Doc Rivers-ish.
It would be really Riversy.
Riversy.
It would be very
Rivers-esque.
It would be very Riversian. We will see. We will see.
I would love to see more Trey. So I wouldn't be mad at Trey if they won. I just don't. I think they figured it out. Like, put Thibault or Simmons on the nigga, and this slows their whole shit up. You feel me?
Big disappointment on Saturday. I think all 3 of us are really looking forward to Nets Bucks, and you know, it didn't really manifest particularly. What did you guys think about game 1 on that?
I hope, you know, it's the story of the fucking season. Injuries, of course, ravaging the league, because I honestly wanted the Nets at full strength for this. Of course, I think all fans do, except maybe perhaps some Bucks fans. But, you know, I there's a part of me that fully believes that the Bucks can take the Nets with the Nets at 100%, right? And I feel like, you know, I don't want that shit to be jeopardized. I don't want us to be robbed of that. And when Harden went out, it's like, you know, we saw Blake Griffin spaz out. And that's the type of freaky shit that happens in this. When you scheme, against, a guy who just goes out and then a guy who you had no fucking game plan for comes out the woodworks and spazzes on you. And that's kind of what we got on this game. So hopefully we get some good news about James Harden, man, because like I said, I want to see this series with both teams at full strength.
I don't think that was really I think the Bucks just didn't play as well. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think they didn't look as special as they did in the series prior. Obviously, the Nets are better, but I think that, I don't know if the Bucks will figure it out, but I think they can, obviously. But I just want to, Kyrie, they need to put Kyrie in the fucking motor in a box and just let him dribble, bro. I would pay big dollars to go see that motherfucker just handle the ball at a fucking museum. Like that, hey, he is that. I just love everything about this game. It's so pure to watch.
I love the idea of a sports museum that's not dedicated to like gear or historic moments, but just to the most aesthetically beautiful things happening in sports. Like it was just holograms of like a Barry Sanders shiver cut, Kyrie dribbling. Like, you can like walk around it like it was a sculpture and admire that. Like that would be cool as fuck.
Somebody owe us some money. They're gonna do that shit. Somebody finna run with this motherfucker idea. That shit. Right.
Yeah, maybe we should. I don't know. Maybe we should edit that out. I don't know.
Hey, NFTs and all this shit, bro.
Somebody would buy that shit. That's a hell of an idea. But I would love to see that. His game is just so pretty to me.
It's beautiful.
It's just so absolutely beautiful. Like it's just so. And I like watching Trey for similar reasons too. Like looking at Trey Young. Like Trey's game is like so high IQ. Even when we were like talking shit, you know what I'm saying, about like, why is he stalling? Because he's doing, even Hubert Brown, I will not call Hubie. I will not call him, man, I don't know Hubie. I feel like Hubie
You're going to call him Hubert instead?
Hubie
I don't know if Hubert is better, bro.
You can't call a nigga Hubie that you don't know. I think like that's somebody that sleeps in the bed with you calls you Hubie. You know what I mean? Like you gotta be, I can't fuck a Hubie. Hubert Brown was even wondering like, why is this man stalling in the last series? You know what I mean? I can fuck a Hubie. Who the fuck is that nigga? But Hubert Brown said that shit. You know what I mean? But like we see him doing small things like that, but when he's on the prowl, like, he's just such a dangerous fucking scorer. You know what I mean? I love, but anyway, I like him for the same reasons. It's just a beautiful watching him play the game of basketball.
You guys expecting the Nets to get through that? Tyler?
I feel like, we saw everything. We saw the fucking 2019-2020 Bucks the other night. You know what I mean? And we know that they might have shaken that off with that thorough ass when they gave the Heat. So I don't know, but I'm still sticking to my halfway pick that the Bucks knocked the Nets off here.
This is going to be the first NBA Finals that doesn't have the Lakers, Warriors, Spurs, or Heat in, was it 23 years?
Since we got Bulls, Jazz, yeah.
First without Bron or Steph, and what they said,
13, 10 or 13. Crazy, so I think it's just worth saying, and I do think it's going to be an exciting rest of the way for this reason. It's just a lot of narratives are going to get changed, and there's going to be a lot of room in a lot of these series for shit that seems obvious to flip itself on its head. Like, I wouldn't at all be surprised if the Clippers make a run. I wouldn't be at all surprised if the Suns or, someone that you're just not used to hearing their name on a deep playoff run does something. So I'm excited about that. But you said it, like the Bucks could end up starting a dynasty, or they could end up getting bounced in this round. Like it has been a while since we were in the second round of the playoffs, seeing so many different kind of divergent paths in front of us. So I'm excited about that for sure.
People talking shit like that's not, like it's bad. I honestly have had a lot of fun watching the playoffs, even outside of Bron. And I had a lot of fun watching today, the game since the Lakers have been out, and I wouldn't be mad at like the Suns going to the Western Conference Finals or coming out the West. You know what I mean? Like, they're fun to watch. Like, it's like Tyler mentioned on Twitter, like how these young Bucks really put their stamp on shit. You know what I mean? And bro, like I had hella fun watching these boys play.
Yeah, I feel like everyone's like oh, this isn't good for the game. This isn't how you draw more casual fans. Bro, I don't give a fuck about drawing fans on. That ain't my job, dude.
Right.
That I do not.
I
right,
want good basketball.
Right?
The fuck
Exactly.
you mean, nigga?
Yeah, I'm a fucking fan. I'm not going anywhere. I don't give who gives a fuck if the next next NBA TV deal is 25 million instead of 28 million because of a rating slip, bro? That's not my fucking problem. Right. I don't give a fuck about that.
That's some Mayweather fucking Paul shit, nigga. Y'all talking to that type of shit. We here for fucking basketball, nigga.
Yeah, I do not give a fuck about what the casual fan wants to say. I want to see good basketball, bro.
Well, I also, how could you? And yes, we're all on the same page about that shit. Like, I don't give a fuck what the ratings are, bro. Respectfully, if I enjoyed a game, I don't.
Disrespectfully,
it's like,
fuck it.
If you go see a movie you liked on Friday night, you wait till Monday to see what the box office was to decide if you liked it or not. You know what I mean? Right. Like,
fuck that.
I don't think anybody truly cares about the ratings. None of us. I don't know why. We just talk about that shit because I think it's brought up. Like nobody, like the only people I really see talking about ratings, people that actually that aren't, basketball people. They're like anti-NBA. Their ratings are, you know what I mean? Like, don't nobody truly give a fuck about the ratings. You know what I'm saying? And the niggas that are talking about the ratings don't even give a fuck about basketball. So, you know what I mean? They trying to like disparage the NBA more than like talk about, so fuck the ratings.
Right. The NBA is not some fucking NBC sitcom that might be canceled if the ratings aren't up to par, right? The NBA isn't going any fucking where, bro. Like, I don't give a fuck about ratings, man.
You're right. It's exactly what you said. It's like the TV deals were slightly less, so the cap goes down a little bit. All right, bro.
Yeah.
Everyone's still going to be able to afford rent,
Right. Right.
All right, let's talk about the Western Conference series. I'm excited for both of these. What do you guys think about Nuggets Suns?
I think, I look at the four teams out west. Any team coming out of that as the Western Conference champ would not be a surprise to me. West is wide the fuck open. I wouldn't be surprised if the Suns knock the Jazz off. Wouldn't be surprised if Jazz knock the Suns off. Wouldn't be surprised if the Clips knock the Nuggets off or if the Nuggets knock the Clips off. So, I don't know if there's much you could take from that, but the West is wide the fuck open. That's pretty much where I'm at.
When has basketball been this wide open in the finals? Who's the favorite? I mean, Harden just went down. You know what I mean? We don't know if he'll be back or not. But as of now, is there a favorite? Like who, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't remember the last time I've not known as much as I don't know now when it comes to who's going to do what. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, kind of across the board. I mean, there's a couple of teams I don't really think are going to win, but I wouldn't really be all that surprised by anything. What do you think Jokic is going to do to the Suns? I think kind of the question of the hour.
I don't know. I think Ayton might. Ayton is a bad boy, man. Like he might. And Jokic is that lateral movement ain't quite up to par. Jokic gonna get his. Okay, I'm not saying Ayton's gonna shut Jokic down, but Ayton is gonna get his too, though, dog.
Ayton will get his, but I'm gonna think Jokic is gonna do what Jokic does. Everything. You know what I mean? Like everybody he guards is more athletic than him. You know what I mean? Like it's not like Ayton's athletic, but it's not like Ayton's any different from like any other. You know what I'm saying? Like, dog, the dude is just it's his mind. It's that gets him his buckets, and he gonna do what the fuck he does.
He's also
everything for the Nuggets.
He's also he also won't be afraid to just slap Ayton around with his ass. You know what I mean? It's just like I think. Yeah, there was some frustration from everyone before AD got hurt with this. Just like, bro, this like dunk on this dude. Bro. You know what I mean? Like, be a center. Go at him. And at Jokic, like that's what's exciting to me is he's so capable of changing his game to whatever it needs to be. And I wouldn't be surprised at all if he comes out and just, booty meat to the belly.
But I mean, we don't know if that'll be enough though, because the Suns are talented. They put up numbers. You know what I mean? So Jokic being Jokic, I think it's on MPJ. How well does he play? And are they going to get performances like they did for Murray at times where Murray won a game for him? You know what I'm saying? Like it is so like, yeah, with the double overtime shit, Murray went crazy. So I don't know. We'll see. But I don't know if they can keep scoring enough. But I think Jokic's going to do his thing for sure.
What's your predictions?
Oh, do we get
Prediction.
Tyler.
Oh shit, man.
Prediction.
Predictions.
Nuggets Jazz. It's gonna be a fucking snow-capped mountain Western Conference Finals.
Okay.
Well, we go on the West. I mean, I want the Suns to come out because they're fun to watch. So I'll say the Suns.
Okay.
And I just don't want anything to happen good with the Jazz, even more than the Clippers, because
It's Utah.
I'll say the Clippers. Clippers Suns will be fun as fuck.
Let's talk about Clippers Jazz, which is, for me personally, aesthetically, really a challenging series.
Oh,
I'm not trying to see either of these teams celebrate a second time this playoffs, bro.
When in doubt, don't choose racism.
Well, shit. I mean, we got the house that Sterling built and the Jazz, so like either way, you know.
So, but you got to reach a little bit. You ain't got to reach for the Jazz. That motherfucker gonna be right in your face, nigga.
yeah, the motherfuckers are there right now.
Right.
Sterling got the boot like 5 years ago.
Like that.
But what's difficult for me with the Jazz, though, is that, like, with the exception of Rudy Gobert, I mean, I love Spida. I mean, you know what I mean? Like that, like
Clarkson's, you know.
Yeah, there's some really lovable, like, personalities on that team that it's hard to root against, you know, but I just will have to find a way to do it.
You're up for the challenge. I'm sure you can nail that.
I mean, Gogurt is hateable enough, I think. You know what I mean? It is the Clippers, though. Yeah, you need a lot of hate for that. I don't know. Gogurt's not enough. Who do you dislike more than less? You know what I'm saying? Who do you dislike more than Rudy? Like anybody in the league?
He just personally annoys me. He would be number one for me in the, like, yeah.
And he's not enough. The most
barring like a Myers, barring like I think someone's a really bad person. You know what I mean?
So Myers Leonard just out of the league, did, huh?
Yeah. Right.
He just gamed himself. He gamer speeched himself clean out the fucking NBA. That's like, damn, bro. That's wild. That's some wild shit. Log on a card and you lose your job. Like 30 minutes later or whatever. That's crazy.
Tyler, what do you think? Clippers Jazz. Who's less hateable for you? Who do you want to come out of that series emotionally?
I never really hated the Clippers. I just laughed at them. Yeah. I just thought they were a laughing stock. They never evoked a fucking, strong emotion out of me. I hated the Jazz. I've hated the Jazz ever since I was a kid. Like, they were just so swaggerless to me. Like, you whack as fuck when like an 11-year-old thinks you're lame. You know what I mean?
Mailman.
Right? The mailman. That fucking dunk with this shit, boy. I was like,
finish it,
bro. I was seeing this dunk when I was in 3rd grade. Like, get this weak motherfucker out of here. Like, you know how whack you gotta be for right? You know how whack you gotta be for a 9-year-old to think you're whack. Like, fuck the Jazz, man. So like I said, I never hated the Clippers. I just always thought they were funny, fun to laugh at. I thought they were a laughing stock for the most part.
It's just fun to make fun of Paul George, but Tyler, you called him a laughing stock. How fucked up would it be if somebody referred to you as that? I would hate you're a fucking laughing stock. I feel like I'd put shame on my family if I was a fucking laughing stock. You hear my name and you fucking chuckle just off the strip, nigga? Jesus Christ. Laughing stock. Oh, that's the last thing I want to be. Sheesh. That shit. But I would say this, I don't hate the Clippers that much, you know what I mean?
I don't hate the Clippers. I shouldn't say I don't hate the Clippers. I don't really hate the Jazz.
You gotta hate the Jazz though, bro.
That's how I feel.
I hate the franchise, but I like players on the Jazz. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I mean, I would rather the Clippers come out than the Jazz for sure. I'll settle down to that.
That's more fun, but I mean, the Clippers are fun. I mean, the Jazz are fun too. Like, the Jazz got some dogs. You know what I'm saying? It's just Rudy. It's just Rudy, man. Damn, Rudy, we really dislike Rudy.
Rudy really brings
Rudy and Karl Malone.
down.
Rudy and Karl Malone.
Yeah, Rudy.
I mean, John Stockton to me had more, you know what I'm saying, spice than fucking Karl Malone. You know what I mean? Karl Malone is a tractor driving ass nigga with some big ass calves, bro.
Texas
you know
Range
them. Right.
He's a black nigga off Walker, Texas Range.
Right. You know, he look at me and say, who invited the nigger? If I pulled up at his shit, bro.
What's the motherfucker who be singing like Melville or some shit?
What you talking about?
You know, motherfucker be like,
He
that nigga, man. Hold on, let me Google this shit, man.
This nigga saying,
Yeah, he be fucking humming with his singing shit. And he's like, that's Karl Malone, bro.
Sweat, nigga?
Harold Neville or some shit like that. Y'all know who the fuck I'm talking about, man.
I know the meme you're talking. You're talking about the dude that's in the meme, right?
No, he's a real life singer, man.
Is that
Harold
a gospel
Neville,
singer?
I think.
Is that a guy? A Melville gotta sing gospel. That's a very is it gospelic name? That's a very Baptist ass name, though. You feel me? Nigga, you find it yet?
I don't.
Fuck that shit. You got to be high.
Fuck that shit.
You high.
No, I'm not. Y'all are gonna know him when I send you a picture of him, man.
You high. You don't have to be.
Harold
I'm high
Neville or some shit, bro.
You're talking about Aaron Neville?
Aaron Neville, that's it. Thank you, man.
Thank you, Jackson.
Y'all know Aaron Neville, bro. Google that motherfucker. You'll know his face when you see him. That's Karl Malone, bro.
Nigga, that shit
good.
Too late.
That's good. No, but you're
you're
right.
It's way too late.
I would say I played NBA Jam.
This is Aaron Neville. Have you seen this nigga lately? Oh, man, I'm sorry. Can I say these things?
Yes.
I don't know,
That's
man. I'm
Karl Malone,
bro. I'm high. But this is woo shit. I don't want to be the backwards hat nigga at fucking 65. You look like this motherfucker look like the back of a knee right now, dog. You look like old knee me. Bro, and I think that backwards hat really.
Tell me you don't see Karl Malone in that motherfucker, man.
You right.
Aaron and
That's Karl Malone, bro.
You was right.
Aaron and Karl. Aaron looks
Thank
like
you.
Like a big wrestling fan. You know what I mean?
He looks like a portrait of Karl Malone in his prime, done in sand that someone just shook a little bit.
Oh shit, man. Damn. Fuck Karl Malone. Let's just out of the love of hating that nigga. I just want to say
that's pretty much it.
I think I've played NBA Jam or like against kids of every ethnicity growing up, probably 10,000 games. And I don't think one person has ever played as a Jazz in the history of that video game, bro.
I thought you were about to say you played as a Jazz, and I was gonna really judge. I thought you were about to say you about to
fucking furious at you that you thought I was gonna say that.
Bro, I'm like, I never saw a nigga play with the Jazz, bro.
Never.
And I was a Sean Kemp, Detlef Shrimp ass nigga. You know what I mean? Like Detlef had a gun from the corner, nigga. He was cash money, you feel me? I was playing with Detlef Shrimp and wouldn't even play with them weak ass fucking Jazz, you feel me?
Before we get out of here, we've got to do our Booger Boy of the Week. And I have it's the Booger Boy of the Week is Skip Bayless, but there's some respect in this Booger Boy of the Week award. Skip tweeted today in all caps, "I was wrong about being wrong about the Clippers. In a shock to me, I was ultimately right. Now they have a very good shot at winning it all, as I originally predicted."
That's patriarchy. That's the most patriarchal ass fucking tweet I've ever that motherfucker. Really? That's some man ass shit right there, dog. Jesus.
That is the worst / most awesome tweet I ever heard. I was wrong about being wrong about. I get it. That is so horrible and awesome at the same time. God damn, the shamelessness, bro. That's it.
I bet he was deadpan as fuck when he tweeted it too. Yeah. I bet he wasn't even chuckling. I bet he was. I was wrong about. You know what I'm saying? Like, right.
But look, when you're a dude, look. Skip understands this shit. When you're a dude like he is, what you leaning on, you got to lean all the way in on. Even if leaning in on it, you leaned out of it. You got to lean back in on the lean out that you did. You know?
God damn.
Right? Like that's the type of dude that
That's his
Skip has
brand
made
now?
himself into,
Yeah.
and he's fucking leaning all the way into that shit.
Well, good.
He's
for
leaning
him.
into the lean out.
I don't give a fuck, but you know what I mean. But
Good
fuck
for
that
him.
shit. Good for him, I guess. There we go. Good for him.
He's
I
still
guess.
leaning. He hasn't fallen off the log yet. You know, he's just gonna hang in there. I was wrong about being wrong in the Marrow style, all caps.
Surprising to myself, I was right.
This nigga Mike's gonna throw up. Jesus, man, you ready to go?
Yo, this is Mike's food game right
This
here.
nigga
God
burped
damn,
up his
dog.
whole tummy.
What's some enchiladas, bro?
You know it's fucked up when you burp and you make them like you taste it and it's like, God damn, bitch, is this me?
His stomach acid is disgusting.
This nigga was
nigga.
disgusted with himself.
Yeah.
Oh shit, your stomach is not stomaching like it's supposed to right now.
I'm gonna have to make the Volume Podcast Network send me a whole new set of audio equipment after I throw up on the microphone because you extended the episode talking about how I'm gonna throw up on the microphone.
All right, let's get off this motherfucker.
That's
man.
our time for the day. We're excited. We'll be back on Thursday. Thank you so much for fucking with us as always. Subscribe, tell your friends, leave us reviews, and make sure you subscribe to The Volume on YouTube where you can catch every episode on video every time. Peace.
Peace.